Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? It's me and Freddie. I'm filling in for my wife, and just to give you an update, um, she's starting to feel a little better, but still very weak, and now it's in her chest. But um, she's really starting to look like she's starting to turn it around, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And I want to put prayers out for everybody that was affected with the snowstorms, especially Texas. I mean, that's a disaster down there, and you just basically everybody that's affected with all kind of illnesses and everything. You know, it's a rough time for a lot of people. So I just wanted to say that. And while I wait on Gabor, I'm just gonna get into this thing with you, Freddie. So on the premiere, Teresa outs Jackie, husband, for cheating, and rumors is that he was cheating. Not only that their marriage was on the rocks, and she did go on the cast trip because of it. Do you get the backstory to all that?
Well, yesterday I watched the premiere. I watched episode 1 of season 11 that was out yesterday. Obviously, I think the cast trip is going to be next episode, so we're going to see the before bit. So I've heard that's the case, but I'm guessing next episode 2 next week we're going to be finding out whether Jackie's actually going to go or not. It was really good, though, I felt, episode 1. I mean, I think they're really going to be pulling it out of the bag this season because everyone seems to have something going on in their lives. So you've got Jackie and Evan's marriage. You've got Melissa and Joe Gorga having marriage problems as well. You've got, Teresa adjusting to, single life and things. And, the still having more problems with her brother and sister-in-law and things. But obviously, it kicked off. The women were, preparing to get ready for Evan's 46th birthday party. Quite a few of them were open that they decided to use the pandemic to get more surgery. Margaret had her boobs done. Dolores had the most. She had, I think, a tummy tuck, liposuction, and a bum lift. And her ex, Frank, who she still lives with, I find that the most weird arrangement. Like, why didn't you live with, like, your new guy? Like, why do you still live with your ex? It's just bizarre. And then her son sort of lives with her boyfriend, David, as well. I still can't make sense of it.
I don't understand that neither. It sounds crazy for me.
I agree. So they talked about that. They used this opportunity to show off their new assets. And then, of course, they're all there. Melissa's like, oh gosh, Jennifer's here because she doesn't like her. She causes problems. We're going to be seeing her act like a drunk idiot in this upcoming season at this party Teresa had at her house. I think where it kicked off was when Teresa got there, and she said to Melissa, Evan's sort of fooling around at the gym, and she's going around telling everyone this, Jackie and all of these people. And what's the bad bit about this is that Jackie is the only one that obviously doesn't know what's going on, and Teresa's staying at her house. And then they have that, later they have this showdown. A big showdown because Teresa refuses to accept that it's a lie. She found out, that she was told about the rumor and that it is true. And then with Jackie bringing up the whole, what if, I've heard Gia does, coke at parties. And I thought that was that was really bad. And Teresa obviously hit the roof, as everyone knows, went mental. And that was basically, to sum up the whole episode, what happened. But actually, Dorinda Medley has actually commented on what's happening. And she tagged Jackie Goldschneider and said, "What were you thinking?" And she said this, the lowest of the lowest, Teresa Giudice, you are a survivor and I love you.
Wow.
I think what do you, any thoughts on what's been going on?
No, I don't know. I mean, I just thought it was really weird that Teresa would out Jackie's husband for cheating, you know.
Especially when she got so angry about when there were rumors about her a few seasons.
Exactly. I guess misery loved company, huh?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have been saying this, is Teresa wanting other people to feel sort of pain that she's been going through at the moment? And, you know, is she sort of struggling at the fact that she's the only sort of single housewife on there at the moment? I think's a big thing. But to bring children into it, I do think is wrong. I get why Jackie was annoyed about the situation. Yes, she shouldn't have been talking about, you know, whether Evan is cheating or not at that party. But to then bring the child into it was completely wrong.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, but hopefully this show got to be better than what it was last year. Last year sort of like flattened out for me a little bit. But if it's as good as what you're saying right now, just off this first episode, hopefully it will turn out to be a good show this year. Hopefully. Yeah,
because we're also going to be seeing Jennifer having this issue between, so her dad is living with them, with her and her family at the moment. So she's sort of in between her parents and things. And obviously we're going to see this big argument, I believe that is next week, of Melissa and Joe going mental at the fact that Teresa takes her ex-husband Joe Giudice's side on some matter.
Uh-huh.
I just think, well, Teresa's brother Joe Gorga, he seems a very angry individual. He seems to go from 0 to 100 very quickly. Do you remember when they had that marriage counselling thing? And,
right. Uh-huh.
And Joe Giudice walks in, and Joe Gorga is like some NFL quarterback trying to tackle Joe Giudice to the ground. I mean, I think, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we know Melissa and Joe Gorga don't like Joe Giudice. We know that. They don't talk to him. He's not in their life. You know, you need to be moving on, you know, becoming a family again and just supporting Teresa in her new life with Louis, her new boyfriend, who they say they like. So I just move on with that and just stop trying to go over arguments, saying, you know, Joe Giudice put, you know, that Giacanto in a sorry, it was Antonia.
Right.
He said, this next episode, you're responsible for putting my mother in a grave.
Let me drop this link for Gabor.
Oh, okay. But the thing with that, I would say, is that, you know, there were loads of problems that they were having, you know, before the whole Teresa and Joe going to prison. You know, at the end of the day, that's where it heated up.
Uh-huh.
And I think Joe, you know, with his behavior, I don't think he probably helped his dad's condition before he died either. So I think it is a bit hypocritical. I think everyone's at fault. And I think what all the Gorga Giudice family now need to be doing is moving forward and looking to the future. You've lost both your parents, which is you've lost Antonia and Giacanto, which of course is really sad. You know, what they'd want you to sort this rubbish out that you've got going on and to move forward. And I think we'll see, you know, why clearly this isn't possible, and it doesn't seem that they are going to be doing it this season, as Melissa Gorga has said in an interview that she doesn't want to, she's not going to back up Teresa again, because you can never be right with it. There's always going to be criticism.
Yep. Hey, Gabor, if you out there, I just dropped you the link. I'll drop it again for Gabor only. Let me see. Yeah, no, but I'm looking forward to it this season too, man. Especially if it's good, because like Atlanta is really boring right now.
I think Atlanta's it's just got a bit lackluster. I think the problem is that, you know, they're just not bringing exciting people onto this show anymore, and I think it's maybe a casting error. They're maybe not broadening their horizons with it. I think they naively didn't realize how integral Nini was to the show potentially. I know that sounds ridiculous to say, but they got rid of her and they haven't really come up with anyone that gives that drama and gives that enjoyment of watching the show. I mean, I think that's a lot of people's opinion.
Yeah, that's pretty much done. I mean, it's like maybe she should have left, but then at the same time, I mean, they don't have anybody else that's going to give that excitement, that entertainment that Needy brought to the show. And hopefully Gabor will hurry up. I don't know where he's at. I just dropped it for you again, Gabor.
We just want to know in Atlanta if what's-her-face's husband going to, where was it? Tampa. What's his name?
Oh.
Which housewife was it? Her husband went away for 3 days in.
I know you're talking about. Oh, he went to the beach. Yeah. No, I mean that case is crazy anyway. That he took off and went to the beach.
Around or not, you know, I want to know that. And then in New Jersey, are we going to find out if Evan's fooling around or not? What's the truth to these rumors? Seeing everyone losing their mind, getting angry, and the drama. So I'm really
You're talking about Drew is his name.
Drew, yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. I mean, but that couple is weird anyway.
That is a very strange dynamic to me as well.
It's just something about that group that's weird. Who we got here? I got somebody in the back, but I don't think it's Gabor. Come on, Gabor. But
wait,
anyway.
is Gabor even on?
Oh, well, no, he should have been coming. I tried to send him the link. He said he was popping on. He wanted to talk about some stuff. But you also heard that Miami for sure, Housewives of Miami.
So we do have news. So Peacock actually the other day, I think it was yesterday, they announced at the Television Critics Association press tour that they are going to be giving Real Housewives of Miami a 4th season. They haven't revealed a cast for that yet. We obviously know the rumors. We've talked about the rumors about Luz Larsa potentially coming back onto the show, and that she's very tempted to do so. And of course that Andy Cohen is also getting his own show, his own unscripted series on Peacock, and it's going to be called X-Rated. So that will be interesting to see what that's about as well.
And then you also had mentioned Mauricio, right? You said did something happen on that front?
Yeah, so Mauricio. So we've spoken about some crooked people on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Put it that way. Erica and Tom, Dorit and PK, they are not the only people that are going through legal issues. So Mauricio, he's been so with this Sweetwater Malibu property, it seems to be never ending. There have been so many lawsuits that have come against him. He's been sued for the likes of fraud and, mishandling money and things, and sort of lying and going against sort of the Californian realtor rules that they have. So what we know is that so there's a motion to dismiss one of the cases, and that's set for February the 24th. So when we find more information on that, we are going to be talking about that. And then, of course, we've also got another one, and I believe that's to do with a man called Eitan Seagal, and that's going to be the docket entry was filed, I think, 2 days ago now, and then the motion to dismiss this complaint is set for March the 22nd. Mauricio's dismissed, has been settled a lot of these cases, I think, to try and avoid tarnishing his name and his reputation.
Hold on.
But they're just
Is that Gabor?
to be.
No, it's not.
Hey, so how's it going?
I'm doing good.
Good. What did you want to talk about real fast? I'm trying to get Gabor back here.
I wanted to chime in about the basketball wives.
Okay. Yeah, I'm waiting on Gabor. Let me and before I got into them, I wanted Gabor to come on. But go ahead. What you have to say about him?
It's definitely a mess, Perry, man, on the basketball wives. The colorism, man, it really is.
Well, now I get that, but then what's your take on that? I mean, because like with Evelyn, that the Evelyn OG stories don't pop back up. It's the same thing as last year. Now Jennifer is dragging her and dragging OG in real time. Did you see that stuff today where she's basically she said your mouth and sit. I mean, she said you better mind your mouth and sit this one out. And then she said it's the fake jet life for me. So basically, she's basically saying that OG is fake and basically broke. What you think about that?
I mean, it's always going to be an ongoing battle between them two from past seasons.
Okay. Do you think it's colorism?
I honestly think it is colorism.
Huh?
I honestly think it is colorism.
Okay. I mean, that was my first thought last year, is that that's the way it is. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, could it actually just be this, right? That it's like the preppy girls in high school. Could it be that they just think they look better than her and they got more financial support than OG got? Why they treat her that way?
No,
No?
I think what they're excuse me, what they're trying to do is it feels like they're trying to outcast her because she's not like an original cast member from the original season.
Uh-huh.
That's what it seems like. Everybody knows when it comes to basketball wives, it's always certain cliques and circles when it comes to involved with that show.
Okay.
Oh, another thing too, Perry. I'm praying for the family, man.
Hey,
praying for your family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm a huge fan of the show, man.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Hey, thanks for calling. Let me try to get Call in here, and thanks for popping in, okay?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Is Gabor on yet?
No. But you can go ahead. I'm trying to get him in. I don't see him in the chat, but I keep dropping the link for him.
Do we want to go back to finish? I'll quickly finish off about Mauricio. So
okay, yeah.
So we've got two big things coming up. Do I think it's going to be covered on the show? Absolutely not. We know how.
Up, buddy?
Hey, Gabor.
Hey, what's up, Gabor?
Hey, you sent me. It was another link that I got.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. Hey, but
It's
no,
okay.
no. So we was just about ready to talk about this because I wanted you to give me your take on what's going on with the Evelyn OG storyline this year.
So I think that I think that it's colorism? Sure, but I think that it's more that OG has African features, right? And so Evelyn cannot get around for sending the gorilla emoji, right? She knew exactly what she was doing when she sent that emoji. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right?
Right.
But the thing that they're gonna have a hard time proving is that it's colorism because Kristen and Jennifer are also dark-skinned women, but they don't have African features like OG does, right?
Right.
So that can be more of it that OG is a dark-skinned woman with African features.
Okay, but typically I would say even with the African features, I would think that is put mostly on the color line. I mean, because most Africans you think about would be black, so and dark skin and stuff like that. Even though all of them aren't. What I'm just saying is, I think that it could be colorism, or it simply could be this too. Is that most of them feel like they're more financially off than the others, right? And most women, just women in general, can size each other up, and maybe they just think they generally just look better than her and have more clout. You know how the preppy girls would want to hang out in high school together in a group, and the only way you get in a group if you look just as good as the rest of them. I mean, it shocked me that Jennifer went over there and then started trashing, OG.
Well, it also is colorism too, though, because when Evelyn can jump off. Evelyn could fight people, throw drinks at people, throw glass bottles in people, jumps on tables, can do all of this stuff to girls. And she's allowed to sit on the couch at the reunion. But OG has never put her hands on anybody except for when she threw Evelyn in the bushes. And now she can't even sit on the set anymore.
Wow.
Did you see when Evelyn got thrown in the bushes last season and they tried to edit it out, but everybody saw it online afterwards?
Right. No, so I seen it. That's what I'm saying. And like last year, I thought that was pretty much what it was. But now, Evelyn's trying to sue her, right?
Yeah, Evelyn. So she tried to put a restraining order on OG last season. I don't know if you guys remember that, but she tried to put a restraining order on OG last season, and the judge threw it out. And when OG accused her of colorism, she claimed that she lost a lot of deals that she had going on, and so now she's trying to sue OG.
Wow.
But have you noticed how at the reunion last season, all of the women were trying to say that it wasn't colorism and OG was taking it too far, but now everybody's saying, oh well, OG has a right to feel the way that she wants to. Everybody wants to be against that. Everybody now wants to give OG a chance to speak because they took a lot of backlash last season for not having OG on the stage at the reunion. Right. After all the fights that Tammy has had, after all the fights that Evelyn has had, you get this one girl on the show who threatened to do something to somebody, and now she, she can't sit on the stage with the rest of the other women. With the rest of the women,
that was wrong. I mean, that was wrong. And do you think this stuff gonna last the whole season?
But now we know why OG did want it. Now we know why Ocho Cinco did want OG. Because did you see the interview that Ocho Cinco did? He said that he's not worried about bad bees. He's worried about athletic women. So all his baby mamas are athletic women. That's what he looked for. He looked for women that were athletes in high school and athletes in college. So now we see that he really was into OG the way that Evelyn tried to make it seem like it wasn't.
He might just be into women. Period. No, you know what I mean? I don't think he have a certain type. I mean, because old girl didn't look athletic like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, Evelyn. I mean, she wasn't no track star or nothing. I mean, she was just good at what she did.
But he didn't have no kids with Evelyn either, though.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. That's true. That is definitely true. And then what about Atlanta? You had mentioned.
I just think it's weird now how it seems to me that Portia, she wanted the women to go after Kenya when she found out that Kenya had the jet with her baby on the jet with them. And now when Kandi kind of flipped on it, now Kandi, you sitting up here crying for your baby, but you didn't have your baby with you. Kandi went on Celebrity Apprentice, Celebrity Big Brother, and stayed for like a month and a half. And she didn't have her kids there with her. She went on that dungeon tour, didn't have her kids with her. She even, after she had Ace, she even set up the trip for the cast trip to Hawaii that season, and she didn't even bring Ace with her on it. And her Antar was in Hawaii. Remember when she blew up on Portia and she threatened to choke Portia? She didn't even bring Ace on that trip. But now all of a sudden you crying because your baby ain't on this trip with you. Y'all girls don't really want y'all kids with y'all on these trips. So why are y'all? It's different with Kenya. Kenya has her baby with her all the time. Portia was going to go get arrested. Portia was literally flying out of town to go and get arrested with your child back at home in Atlanta, and you didn't shed a damn tear. But now, since Kenya brought her baby on this trip, you want to cry?
So, Gabor, let me ask you this then. So, do you think Kandi just coming at Kenya to try to create some excitement for the show because it's very, very boring?
I think that the other girls, I think that Kandi wanted to flip on Kenya.
Or did she just want to incite a riot? So did she just want to toss it out there and have the other girls pick up on it? Because Kandi like to always lay in the cut. You know what I mean? I mean, she's the type that throw things out, but she's never the main person. Maybe she was looking for some puppets to go out there and attack Kenya.
I think that she wanted to be seen as keeping it real, right? Since the other women felt one way about it, and she was the opposite. Now it was her chance to try to quote unquote keep it real, right? And now you're upset. You're upset because the thing is, she's saying, "Oh, I feel different about this baby because I didn't have a baby." That's a personal problem that you have within yourself. Right? She probably has some, you didn't have, that's what she said. I didn't have that baby, so I was worried about being attached to the baby, and the baby is attached to me. Girl, you ain't never had your kids with you. Mama Joyce and your aunties and was always watching Riley. If you notice, every time they shade Kandi, they always talk about how she don't raise her kids, right? Riley has said before that Riley was the one that was raising Ace. Kim said before that when I don't see why we all of a sudden there's a different standard for Kenya, because when you remember when Kandi, I don't know if y'all remember when Kandi was engaged to, y'all remember when Kandi first came on the show, she was engaged to this guy that ended up getting killed in the strip club.
Nope.
Remember that?
No, I ain't watch it back then.
Yeah, she was what was that man's name? She was engaged to a guy that had like 6 or 7 kids, and he ended up getting killed in the strip club. And I believe Kim took her baby. Kim took the baby, took Riley, and she said that she had Riley for a couple of weeks while Kandi was dealing with that. So what's the difference between now Kenya going through something and she wants to have her baby with her?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you brought me on a different topic real fast, though, and we'll go back to why.
If my baby was on the trip with me, I don't want to sit and get drunk with y'all. I don't want to sit and get drunk with y'all.
I want to know if Ralph's fooling around or not.
Of course, Ralph is keeping it on. Yeah. And that's another thing, Freddie. You know the problem with keeping it real, you need to keep it real all the time. Because Drew want to keep it real now at the table. Everybody's being fake. But you was being fake when Ralph was gone for 3 days. You don't think Ralph was in nothing else? Ralph was in Florida with another woman.
He was knee deep. And enjoying every moment. And we'll go back.
He was balls deep.
Yeah.
Well, this is what we were talking about before you were on, Gabor. We were talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, and that was that was pretty real to me of what's happening. I'm pretty excited for that season. I think it's probably one of the most Real Housewife franchises at the moment, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, because Teresa
New Jersey.
Teresa outed Jackie's husband for cheating.
Evan.
And she knew how it felt you know what I'm saying, when her husband was cheating. You know what I mean? But I guess misery loved company. But back to Atlanta, just real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Why do Kandi, it seems like she always have a husband that got a problem with the strip club?
Yeah.
I mean, because I didn't know
that is true.
Because I didn't know one got killed in a strip club and the other one just go there at will.
Yeah, the dude that she was engaged to a guy that they said was a drug dealer on the show the first season. He had 6 or 7 kids, and I remember Mama Joyce did not like him because he had so many kids. And you know, Kandi is a real sugar mama. She was ready to marry that man and you know, help take care of them kids. And Mama Joyce was like, no.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But what was you saying, Freddie? You was trying to fill him in on the
the Mauricio stuff I wanted to fill in because we'd sort of I think we'd spoken about whole of New Jersey. I mean, we can talk about more in a bit if we want.
Okay.
But what I was saying about there are quite a few things that seem to be coming up about Mauricio, and what I'm interested in this season is we know that Kathy and Kyle Richards' fallout was to do with Mauricio leaving Hilton and Highland to set up the agency. Now, that was allegedly because Mauricio wasn't made a partner of Hilton and Highland, despite being promised that he would be made a partner. So do I hope that they do talk about it. They maybe outline what this whole falling out is about, but I just don't see Kyle talking about it. I think she's going to pretend that they have this fantastic relationship. But with the upcoming lawsuits that Mauricio's got, I think we're going to really find out more information. And it's going to be interesting if what people from Berkshire Hathaway and things that are suing him, what Sam Hakim and people and the Equatorial Guinea vice president, is going to be saying in future court filings, and is Mauricio going to eventually settle, or what the deal with that is. So I think it's now that makes us be able to move on to Paris Hilton. Now, she said on her new podcast that she's not really that keen that her mum, Kathy, has joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And that was because of how she hated seeing her two aunts, Kyle and Kim, fight. I mean, it was entertaining for us when Kim was like, "You stole my house." I still think that was one of the best lines ever. But obviously for Paris, them being her aunts, it's a hard one. So I wonder if we're going to have that drama. I just don't think we're going to have that drama with Kathy and Kyle. But what Paris has said is that she is going to be watching it this season.
But see, now I think that it is going to be drama. And I understand from Paris' standpoint, like, you hate to see your two aunts on national TV fighting, right? But I sure like to see it. You know, I would love to see it. So I'm waiting for it. And I think some drama will happen.
I do hope there's drama, but I just don't think it's going to be the same way that Kyle and Kim had drama. Because obviously Kim had stuff going on. She had, her alcoholic problem. So we're not going to have Kyle saying you're a liar and you're an alcoholic in a limo or anything like that. But I think, vile Kyle is going to be put in her place.
And
she's not happy. She's richer than her. She's pretty well known. Her daughters are more famous than Kyle's children. She lives in an actually quite a reputable area. She lives in Bel Air, I believe. Kyle lives in the Valley now. So, there's a bit of competition, and Kyle is sort of losing her, I think probably is threatened by losing the status that she's had on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for so long. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see, if Kathy is going to bring it.
Well, she's like she can't. So I never thought. I don't care how long Kyle has been on Beverly Hills. I never thought she was the queen of Beverly Hills. Ever. She will never be. Right? She's too weak, and for her to think that she's the queen of the show, it's going to be interesting to see Kathy come in and put her in her place. But I knew that Kyle wasn't. I knew that Kyle was really vile Kyle for two things that happened. One thing was when she had, when Lisa Rinna was trying to throw that drink on Kim, and Kim was letting them have it that day at their table, and she ran out. And the second thing that I knew that she was never the queen of the show, and she was no good, was when Freddie, you remember when Nikki Hilton got married, and she didn't invite any of them to the wedding, and then she invited Farrah, I believe is her name, Kyle's oldest daughter, because she was a bridesmaid in the wedding, and she didn't invite Mauricio. Mauricio didn't come, and none of her daughters, the other girls, any of Mauricio's children, were able to go to the wedding. Remember that?
Yes, I remember.
And Kyle went, and Kyle ended up going. Like, if my children are not welcome to this wedding, I'm not coming to this wedding, right? But because he was a Rothschild, you know what I'm saying? And this is my sister who's a Hilton, and this is a Rothschild. At some point, you have to be like, well, if my children can't come, I'm not going.
I mean, all those families have actually married into like big families as well, because, Hiltons have married Rothschilds, and Rothschilds have married Goldsmiths, who are also incredibly rich family, well known in Britain. So these people, they flock together, put it that way. But it is going to be, I wonder if Kathy is going to be addressing all of this. And we want to know about the agency Hilton and Highland War. I want to know. So Andy needs to fasten his seatbelt, buck up, quite frankly, and make these women talk, because we're bored of letting them control the narrative. Erica DeVille, we know about your lawsuits, okay? We want to know what's happening. Where is the money hiding? You're going to play the victim. We know that. Kyle, we want to know about these Mauricio rumors, lawsuits. Is Bella going to be talking about Scott Disick as well? That's going to be an interesting one. And these Harry rumors as well is another one I want to know about.
Yeah, but
is Kathy going to make her talk about the husband? Or if Kim comes on, are we going to go, let's talk about the husband?
Did y'all happen to run across the Utah reunion? Just by chance.
Yes.
I saw the first reunion, the first part of the reunion, but I didn't see the second part. But I mean, it was really pointless to me because I never saw, I think, past episode 4 or 5.
Right. No,
I didn't see when Heather went when Heather left with the black guy in the U-Haul truck.
That one. Yeah.
After that episode, I never watched it again.
Yeah, she started packing boxes in the back of that truck. But yeah, no, the show was like quite boring. But what just tripped me out is Mary Cosby still, because like she avoided questions last night, and she would just go back and forth. She's still lying about the smell like hospital, and then they asked her about the 7-Eleven, and she said no, that wasn't it at all. She ain't got no problem with that.
I'm the cult.
And then she said that because she just don't like black men, she like white men.
That is just so weird to me still. That is
crazy.
You're a black woman. You
got a black husband at home.
How could you be scared of black people? Just make it, as Sharrell would say if she was on here, make it make sense, people. Make it make sense.
Yeah, Mary said that?
Yeah, she don't like black men. She like white men. But
her husband is black, right?
And her kids too. You know what? Sometimes I think she's out there on something.
I mean, is she on doing stuff. I mean,
that's my only guess.
As like, I don't know. But I mean, the reunion, I mean, all their outfits were so awful. I mean, Heather Gay, her dress looked like she'd stolen my grandparents' curtains. And I mean, did she get Dorit in her burglar's outfit from last season to go into my grandparents' house, rob their curtains, give it to her so it could be made into a dress? I mean, Mary, I mean, she looked like some gold statue. I mean, Jen, I mean, she was, as I've said, she is probably one of the angriest housewives that's ever been on. I mean, she was losing her mind as well. I mean, she didn't have her husband, who I call Sheriff Sharif, because he's got to be like a sheriff in sort of dealing with this behavior, like some angry, mad, drunk, that's drinking in the middle of somewhere in America. So that, and then who else? I mean,
are their husbands there?
Barlow, that it was like a suit, and then someone had come and they cut half, quarters of it off. I mean, that didn't make sense to me. I mean, really, really not good, these outfits. They need better stylists.
I mean, they actually need a better show. That show sucks. I mean, because I started off, I watched it for a while, and then I take an episode on, off, and then I just happened to run across part of it last night and seeing that I was like, same stuff. But no, you guys got any much more to say? Because
are their husbands there?
I saw
on the
that.
reunion.
I don't remember it. No. Because Sharif would have need to have been a sheriff dealing with his behavior. So
I really, she's the reason why I stopped watching the show. I really do not like Jen.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, at first she was my favorite, but then she just, I don't know, man. It's like she got some kind of problem for real.
Exactly the same with me as well.
Yeah, because she was more energetic at first, and then she went from that to like, child, please get a hold to yourself. I mean, it's like a desperate housewife or something. Maybe that could have been her problem. The husband was never there. He probably was out doing.
I mean, why is Sharif? I mean, he's a coach. I mean, is he creeping around as well? Like,
he's an assistant coach.
No, I mean, and then she's so angry about. She's just. I mean, yeah, her parents have died and things. That's sad, but it just doesn't add up. Why she's that angry, and she's blaming it. She's saying she's on meds and stuff. The meds aren't working, first of all. And secondly, she needs to be seeing a therapist to deal with this behavior, quite frankly.
Yeah, but if you guys finish, I just want to tell everybody, hey, I appreciate you guys coming in and dealing with me. I'm nowhere close to being what Sharrell is. So I watch these shows on the surface. I don't watch them. I'm no diehard. So hopefully she'll get well soon and get back. She's feeling a little better this morning, but right now just most of the stuff is definitely in her chest and she's still weak. So, but she is resting. So I was just trying to jump on and fill in for her for a little bit and just do something, because you got Gabor and Freddie, the experts. So, if you guys ain't got nothing else, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. If y'all got something, let's talk about it.
No, I think I've said everything today. I think, so we're good on my end.
How about you, Gabor?
No, I'm good. Same here.
Okay, so on 3, hey, thank you everybody again, and thanks for all the support from my wife. I truly appreciate it, and let's send prayers out to people in Texas. All the people who's dealing with this snowstorm across the United States and everywhere else. So, just thanks for coming. I truly appreciate it. And sorry, I couldn't be more like my wife, but I figure it out one day.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, fine.
So on 3, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody.
Bye.